Hi folks and welcome back. I wanted to put together this really quick video for you to show you how I took the Grimgerde model from this red plastic and I did this custom color scheme and show you the paints that I use, added some custom decals, took it down to the Australian Gunpla Builders World Cup and did a demonstration just after Kawaguchi Meijin and met up with him and cracked some jokes. Then at the end I'll show you how I protect the model before moving on with weathering steps like this. Good stuff, let's go. Today I wanted to show you just really quickly the some of the steps, thoughts and processes I go through when doing a custom paint and decal job on a model. In this case I've gone with a Bandai 1100 Grimgerde Gunpla Gundam battle suit, and you can see out of the box and in the photos, I'll flick up now, look at that technology. It's a red, slightly red metallic looking, in the artwork it's red metallic. The model itself is kind of it's a pinky red plastic, and I wasn't super keen on that Canon scheme. So a friend of mine, Ethan, thanks mate, had done another model in this color. First step was that I base coated the model with this Fine Surface Primer by Tamiya. And it's really good on both plastics and metals. I used the same method for this step and the white parts in the video that I'll link at the top right of your screen right now, the Tau Ghost Keel. Then for the white parts I used this Tamiya TS7 Racing White. It's a lovely off-white. And as you can see, the cap is yellower than the actual paint turns out. It's quite a nice shade of off-white. Leaving that to dry, I moved on with an airbrush and switched to Gaia Notes Stone Grey. Gaia Notes 028 Stone Grey. Lovely color. And you know, I'm super keen and I was super keen and excited to use this to start with. Now I'm super keen and excited to weather it because it's a lovely color. And it's totally out of my usual range because I've done a lot of militaristic looking science fiction work, so that was super interesting. That was done with an airbrush. Then to add a little bit more, I wanted 3 colors on this. I've gone with a proper one from Gundam. This one's Mr. Gundam color. What is it? UNT's MS Grey, and it's a metallic black. It's called grey. You can see it says metallic. It's almost metallic black. You can see how it's turned out. And I applied this one via hand brush. The details are nice and small, so I've applied that here on the shins, on the bottom of the feet, and in the shoulder detail areas up in here. And that was the paint scheme done. Because these paints have at least this one's gloss, that's why the white looks so shiny. When you're looking at these, you can see it will say Tsuya Ari, that's Japanese for gloss. These ones are both, I think this one's a satin semi-gloss, you can see, and the metallic black Kaitenai! Doesn't say. It's glossy enough. Let's see if I can see it in the really small writing on the back. Man, it might be in there somewhere. Flammable, alright. Metallic is good enough for me. It came out maybe semi-gloss, you could say. Now let's talk about decal choice and placement. You can see on the box art, there's no decals or markings whatsoever. So not only did I want to replace the plastic, the red plastic color, the Canon color, with the that really cool teal and white scheme, but I also wanted to add a bunch of cool markings and give the suit a little bit more personality. Here's the first set I went with. These are from Bandai, and they're specifically for the Iron-Blooded Orphans series that this Grimgerde is a part of. And as you can see, the ones that are cut out, I went with the yellow ones for the issue family. And I don't know a lot about the show, but they worked with my scheme. I thought if I was going to add another color, yellow would work well. This is also the sheet that I got the EB markings for the top of the shoulders because I thought that would be a cool place for a technical type thing. For the next choice of custom decals, I went with one of these awesome sheets from Haikyuu Parts. This is the RB Caution decal set in 1/100 scale. I'm not sure if the scale makes a really big difference, but I guess it lends some authenticity. Color choices here are pretty important. I mean, I could go with white. Red wouldn't really work well. Red's a little bit too close. It would have a little bit of an issue. Red doesn't get along with yellow all the time. It contrasts well with yellow, but it doesn't get along. So I went with orange. It was the closest I had. Orange, grey and white. Grey is nice and neutral, and the white works perfectly with this scheme. So these were almost custom made for me. One quick word on the Haikyuu Parts decals. Super quality, a little bit more expensive, but boy, they're nice. Now decal placement. I understand it can be a little bit scary because you've got no sheet to tell you where to put them, so what do? So this one, see the family crest? I went across 3 places there and I kept it asymmetrical. Right hand side for the front and back armor pieces, and then on the left hand side, to contrast with that, on the shoulder piece here. Smaller placements, here on the freeze frame you can see the weathered side. And let's compare that here with the side that I haven't weathered yet. And you can see the primary placements I went here to fill in the places that were a little bit blank and to add a great deal of detail. So I went with the EB marking to break up the center white piece of the shoulder, then the large chunk of text to break up that side panel there, then with the triangle to point towards the ground and give it another vector, make it interesting. And then for the elbow, I've given it a point. I went with a round one there to contrast against the angularity that's surrounding it and to make it more of a point, like we can feel on our own elbow. Here on the inside of the elbow, I've gone the other way. I went with a triangle to contrast against the circle there and to add more detail into a compact area. Here on the left chest, as seen from the suit, I went with a personal marking that kind of looks like an ID mark. Now for the legs, I've gone with a more of a simple straight up and down look. I added shin inserts a little bit higher than halfway up the shin there, just to give it a nice central point. Ankle I went with again. The main one that I changed it with was the knee insertion. You can see how those armor pieces point up towards the knee at that angle like this. So there, instead of just going flat across like with gravity or a level, I've gone with an angle there to kind of point in like the fingers are doing, point in towards the axis of knee rotation there, just to kind of accentuate the feeling of movement and possibilities of movement there. On the feet, I put one that looks a little bit like a warning strip just in the center. I knew I would be chipping the feet back, so just central placement there makes it nice and simple. A quick heads up, if you like my content, I have a lot more. I also do this private membership site called Patreon, and I've got behind the scenes content, extra long in-depth videos, and giveaways. In fact, I'll be giving away this model at the end of the month to one of my patrons. I hope you like it. Please click the link at the top right and go and have a look. I sincerely appreciate your support, and it helps make a bunch more of cool content like this. Lastly, now here's a quick word on leaving blanks on your model. You can see how the center of the groin area there on the model is actually quite busy because I've got that white contrasting piece and it's got the yellow there. So the upper thighs here are quite nice for painting detail. I purposely did not put any decals there. Decals, water slides, dig udder. Finally, the rear of the model has no decals at all. There's almost no armor plates, and it's all about the front for this guy. Quick close-up now of this is what I'll be showing you in the next video. You can see I have weathered and done some chipping on half of the model, and the other half is still yet to go. I just wanted to test out, get a balance for the look here, and I can show you exactly how I did those processes on the other side of the model here and here. That will be available in the next video for this Grimgerde series. Super quick bonus content, I get asked this all the time, so I really wanted to show you guys about this. This is my favorite clear coat that I always use to protect models, protect the decals before I get started on the weathering steps. I use Mr. Super Clear. Semi-gloss is my favorite. Gloss is really good, but it's very glossy. Flat is good, but as you can guess, it's very flat. Semi-gloss gives you a nice balanced version. It's super hot. It's a lacquer. Yes, you can use it over acrylics, but don't let it pool. Quick control bursts, just mist it on, don't let the surface look wet, and I've never had troubles with it. It always works really well. Really sorry that I don't have footage of me using it on this project. I was in a super hurry to get it done, but what I will do is I'll take some shots of it next time, some video, and I'll show you some in action of how I mist it on so that you'll be good to go. Cheers! Thanks guys, we made it! Please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the next episode, which will be doing weathering effects with excellent products from Ammo by Mig Jimenez. Stay tuned, more soon. Cheers, bye.